So we're reviewing the Titleist T150 Irons. First time we've done a review for a while, but these were released about a month or so ago and now I've got them, so we're going to try them out. Right, so we're reviewing the Titleist T150 Irons. So these are at the better end, or what you would call the better players club. So out of the two, at the range that they've got, the T100 and the T150 are definitely aimed at the better golfers. So this is released about a month or so ago. So I've got these coming now to look at. And this is probably one of the best looking golf clubs that I've seen for a long time. Typical Titleist stuff, really, really classic, clean, really nice lines to it, thin top edge. Is the shorter sort of blade diameter, so the T100 is slightly smaller than this. This is the T150, and probably if you were looking at an older range of Titleist clubs, it's closest to probably something like the AP2 iron that they used to do a few years ago. So it is a really good looking club. Now all of the Titleist clubs are, you can blend them through the set, so that if you would, if you had the T150s, you could quite easily put the 350s with them at the higher end of the bag. But I've got the 7.9 here, and we're going to be reviewing this. So we've got it in the AMT Black S300 shaft, standard 7.9. A little bit of information about the club. So this is a slightly bigger blade width than the T100. Like I said, very clean top line. Now internally it's got, I think, the largest amount of tungsten that any clubs have got that's moved around in the club head. So they've got quite a large amount in the heel and the toe. Now it's worth saying that the wording of the largest amount of tungsten internally in the head. So if you looked at something like with the pin range clubs, the I-230 iron, they obviously have got the tungsten screw in the toe part of the club. So that will be classed as an external weight. These are internal, so there's quite a bit of tungsten sort of in the toe and in the heel. That's going to make it a little bit more stable, a little bit more forgiving, and giving you, so when you're hitting off strikes, that you're going to be a little bit easier to keep the ball going. The T150 loft coming in at 32 degrees, so it's definitely a lot weaker than what you're going to see in other clubs. So sort of a lot of clubs are going to be a little bit stronger, but as you come into the better players sort of end of the market, if you like, that's what you're going to see, slightly weaker lofts. So it's worth bearing in mind that that means that the ball just isn't going to go as far if you compared it against something like a G430 or the Callaway Paradigm, something like that. They're always going to go further than these with the same swing. So weaker lofts, so you're going to lose a little bit of distance, you're going to lose a little bit of ball speed as a result of that. But the Titleist are saying that there's increased forgiveness and definitely better playability. So for judging distances and stuff like that with the more bladey type or the thinner sort of golf clubs. So then we'll get down, we'll hit a few shots and let's see what these sort of sound and feel like. Right, so as always when we're doing the testing, it's Pro V1s, usual sort of settings. Yeah, Pro V1s. Right, so let's put these down. So these are very, very nice looking golf clubs, extremely nice looking golf clubs. As I put that down, you know, there's a really clean, sort of nice thin top line. I like that. But there, didn't quite catch that one, but definitely felt nice coming off the club. The fact that that's gone quite a bit left, that's me, not the golf clubs. So there, it really feels nice. You can feel, it's that classic sort of feel. Sounds nice. I like the way the club sounds, the way the ball comes off the club face. You can see they're slightly, for me, slightly slower ball speeds, a little bit spinnier, but that's to be expected. Like with these golf clubs, that's what you're going to get. That one being slightly better swing. So yeah, spin wise, it's exactly where you'd expect to see these sort of clubs. The more distance orientated clubs are going to spin a little bit less. These are definitely going to spin more. So on my sort of swing speed, I'm looking for about 5,500, 6,000 on a 7 iron to spin it up. That's exactly what it's done. As a result, you're going to get slightly slower ball speeds and decreased distance. But if you kind of got to get your head around that when you're looking at golf clubs, that don't be seduced by the distance, because if you put something in your hands that's like a TaylorMade P790 that's going to have a much more springier face, the ball's going to explode off of that and go further, and with stronger lofts and stuff, that the 7 iron from that set isn't like a 7 iron from every set. So you kind of got to ignore distances and go on feel if you're looking at this end of the market. Right there, that was poor contact. I didn't hit that one very well at all. Lose a little bit of distance, but it's not. Yeah, see, much slower ball speed. It's not a dramatic drop off from hitting a bad shot. The fact that I've made a bad strike, they're still quite forgiving. Certainly from these sort of numbers, it looks good, but there is only one test. We've got to take them on the golf course and have a look and see what they're like out there. So out on the course, this is the sort of range. They're sort of 150, 160 into a par 4. So it'd be nice to see what these feel like. So, obviously with these ones, they have the slightly thinner profile underneath. The club says reduced turf drag. So again, it's all pitched at the better player. See there, nice. I like the ball flight, nice strong ball flight. Comes off the club face really well, and definitely, ball spinning, ball stopping as it's coming into the greens. So it's this sort of end of the bag that you're really going to notice the difference with the Forge clubs. Coming in, you've got the, like I said earlier, you've got the thinner profile of the sole of the club, so you get reduced drag. So the sort of feel that you get around the greens is going to be far superior. So, let's have a look. I mean, this is only a 7 iron, but for kind of little bump and run kind of shot. Yeah, I mean, they really feel nice. I mean, I haven't hit that, but they do feel really nice as the ball's coming off the club. Like really like these clubs. I think the big thing now is the versatility of their clubs. Titleist have always made really good, better players clubs, but not necessarily clubs that are geared at the high handicappers. But they do now with the sort of 350s. They're absolute rocket ships. And you can blend these clubs through, so whether you went T100s, 150s, 350s, it wouldn't matter. You can get them matched up and then blend them through the set, so that if you started with the T100s in the sort of lower clubs, then you could go 150 for the higher clubs, or if you wanted to use some of their other irons as well as part of the set, you can definitely do that now. They do lend themselves to that, and that would make it easier, certainly in the longer clubs when you're hitting them. One of the things that's really stood out to me from sort of being out here, and this is why you've got to come on the course when you're trying things out, the playability of the club, the ability to stand there and hit shots, influence the flight, really control those sort of lower shots. Here, if I stand here and say, right, I want to squeeze one up there a little bit, and just generally catch it a little bit lower. Kind of run it up towards the green, same sort of thing. I think, okay, so the next shot I want to vary that, and same club, just hit it that little bit higher. The playability of them is really is good. They're extremely easy to control. The ability to influence the flight of the shot. They're good clubs. You know, Titleist have always made good clubs. There's no huge surprise there. They've always made what I'd see as better players clubs very well. These are kind of in that bracket, and they're up there. You know, price wise, they're not cheap. They're probably sit for a 7-iron set maybe 50-80 pounds more than what you pay for other brands. But then don't be surprised if you see next year that obviously when the manufacturers start to release their golf clubs, that you're going to see an increase in price that will probably come up and, you know, match them price wise. But then they are a forged club. They are, and as a result of that, they are going to be that little bit more expensive. But they're extremely nice, and you know, something that you should definitely consider. Titleist do make good golf clubs. There's no two ways about it. These are probably one of the nicest set of irons, definitely, that I've seen this year. Right, so been out on the course, tried it, hit balls in here. I think you get the gist of where I'm going. These are lovely. These are really good. I like the clean lines. I like the fact that, you know, it's a classic looking golf club. It's not all sort of chunky. These are a better players club. So, you know, if you're gonna go this end of the market to the T100s, T150s, you're gonna have to be able to, you know, be a confident ball striker. But then, you know, there is a case to turn around and say if you've got better golf clubs that are less forgiving, it's got to make you a better ball striker. But these are pitched at the better golfer. But these are probably some of the best clubs that I've played this year. They're more forgiving than versions or incarnations of these golf clubs that I've tried in the past. So definitely the sort of moving the tungsten about inside the head has had an impact, a very positive impact. So they are still quite forgiving. I really like them. They're at the top end of the market price-wise for what they are. Like I said, you know, you're probably looking 50 to 80 pounds more for a 7-club set than what you would do for other clubs that are within this bracket. But don't be surprised if you see next year that prices are going to increase from other manufacturers for their new products that they're going to be releasing. I don't think that these are going to be, you know, too expensive, so they're probably going to be around about the, you know, that sort of £1,200 bracket. But if you're looking for a forged set of clubs, then these are definitely worth a try, definitely worth a hit. Go out and see somebody, make sure that you get fitted and try them. But genuinely, these are top class clubs. But on this channel, we do more than just reviews. Obviously, you get your regular content with golf tips and advice. Today was reviews. Next week, we're going to be looking at Shrixon driver and Shrixon irons. These are something that I've not hit before, so I'm looking forward to trying them out, and we're going to put a review out next week on them. But if you can't wait for next week and you want to check out a video, this is a simple, very simple tip. Totally changed my chipping. Make sure that you check that video out there.